Find me a real picture of a real satellite in space, I'll give you $1 million. You can't do it. All of this shit is science fiction. Us flat earthers trying to wake y'all ass up. All of this shit is computer, CGI. Look at this fake shit. It's all belief. Science fiction is belief, but science is not. Flat earth is science. The globe, science fiction, people. We're trying to wake you up. Even this man told you that the shit is belief and that it ain't proven. So you can't argue with Brother Sanchez. You got to have hyperspace if you're going to have the globe. If he telling you that hyperspace is a belief or theoretical concept, what the fuck you think the globe is? If you cut the tree at the roots, it ain't no damn tree. Come on, people. If my daddy didn't exist, you think I'll be sitting here talking to you? Hell no. Please open your mind, globalists. He just told you hyperspace is a theoretical concept. It's not a fact, it's a belief. So what you think the globe is and everything else and gravity and all the rest of the stuff is science fiction. If the globe exists within hyperspace and hyperspace ain't real, then come on, I mean, it don't take come on, wake up, people. If the globe exists within hyperspace and hyperspace ain't real, come on now, people. Open up your minds out there now.
In our 3 dimension, the laws of physics are there. We can explain things, but there are lots of pieces that seem to be random, that you have to enter constants by hand, and so you might have 30 or so constants of physics and more in cosmology, and they look like they all have nothing to do with one another.
That's right. I like to think of a crystal. Let's say a crystal, a beautiful crystal, shatters and lands on a tabletop. And there are little insect-like flatlanders living on this tabletop. And they say, let us...
See, that's a subconscious insult. Flatlanders. Shut your dumb ass up. Flatlanders ain't made sense yet, but you getting all the money. Ain't made sense yet. Everything the man... And look here. All of his books ain't shit but pseudoscience and damn science fiction. Look at all of this shit. You ought to laugh at this shit. Listen, he laughing at you now. This man laughing at y'all. Listen, look at the title of this book now. People, please look at the title of this book now. He laughing at y'all dumbasses. Physics of the impossible. If it's impossible, it ain't no damn physics for it. They laughing at you now. Oh my God, this job get hard, and I'm not making as much as these imposters now. You better open your mind and see that the joke's on you. Now his book called Physics of the Impossible, that's a joke on you. You know he sold millions of copies of that damn bullshit. And when you open it up, he talking a bunch of pseudoscience about space bending around itself and warping around orbital fields, and get the fuck out of here, man. It's the equivalent of watching a sci-fi movie, but you're reading it in a novel. You're interviewing the author, and y'all call that shit science. You know how many copies of this pseudoscientific book he sold? Physics of the impossible. Why would you buy some shit like that? That's a joke. That's a joke. That's like me selling you a book called How to Make Sense Out of the Senseless. If it's senseless, you can't make sense out of it, you idiots. Oh my God. Flat power, man. Flat motherfucking power. Oh, I can't do it without y'all. It get hard if I ain't got a squad, man. It's us versus the world. It's us versus the motherfucking world. The physics of the impossible, people. And look what his buddy got now. They laughing at you dumb globeers now. He got the inexplicable universe. They laughing at y'all dummies. If it's inexplicable, How the fuck is this a 2-hour damn series? It's the same thing that the pastor doing. He getting up there preaching for 2 hours about talking snakes and men walking on water. You can't really explain this in 3 dimensions. Only way that what the pastor's saying makes sense if he explain it in the spiritual realm. See, when you go to church, they take you away from reality and they have to put you into a realm where it's possible for people to walk on water. See, in this make-believe realm of the Christian system and the Muslim system, you know, anything, you got talking snakes, you got men being resurrected from the dead, but that's possible in the land of religion, a system of beliefs. It's possible. Now, we know we can't go outside and see a nigga walking on water, and even a Christian will tell you, don't be stupid, don't think that. They'll tell you that that was possible in Jesus' time. And when they say Jesus' time, that's another way of saying that's only possible in hyperspace. In other words, Jesus' time, heaven, the spiritual space, the 5th dimension, hyperspace, all of these places is just places that the magician got to take you to do magic in, because his magic don't work in reality. Remember, Jack can climb up beanstalks in fairy tale land. That's possible, man. Fern Gully was a good movie. You had talking insects. You know, Mickey Mouse is a talking mouse, and that's true. Can't nobody tell me Mickey Mouse don't talk. That's true. In the 3 Little Bears, you had bears that was running a household. Mama bear, Papa bear, and a child bear. You had Goldilocks. Now, all of them bears was running a household. Them bears lived in a house and they had a kitchen. Now, in reality, bears live in the forest. But in fairy tale, okay, y'all get where I'm going here? It's still true, though. You can't tell me that them bears didn't have a house, man. That's true. Did you read the book, or is you dumb? Goldilocks existed. She was in the house of the 3 bears. Anybody saying it ain't true is a fool, or they didn't read the book. See how this work, y'all? It's 2 different kind of truths here. It is true in literature. It ain't no lie. It is true that it's diamond planets out there. It is true that it's big old clusters of gas in this inexplicable universe. It is true in hyperspace only, not in reality. The science we deal with deals with reality, because that's the only kind of science that's useful to humanity. What use is a science that's dealing with the imaginary land? How can I help my children empower my house with a science that's only plausible or feasible in fucking hyperspace? And how the hell do we get to hyperspace? Because I want to go. So people, we got to wake the hell up. Look at what they telling you, the physics of the impossible. Think about that, right? How can there be physics for something that's impossible? Think about it. It's impossible. So how can there be physics for it? Physics only govern the realm of possibility. When someone take you out of the realm of what's possible and start preaching to you about shit that's impossible, then they got to develop the physics for this impossible world. This is how you get sci-fi worlds. This is how your first imposters and magicians start creating all of these make-believe worlds, floating in darkness and all of these theoretical places, you know. It's still going on today, and y'all still being bamboozled by the magicians. All right? That's why I'm taking my time going in trying to wake you up. None of the stuff they talk about is possible in reality, and he just told you that. He said it ain't possible in reality. But in hyperspace, it's possible. And hyperspace is another made up place that they made up what they can put these impossible concepts within. It's a big scam. They create the dumb impossible concept, and then they create the space to put the concept in. They create all the mechanics and mechanisms to describe how the dumb concept would work, such as a diamond planet or a water world. They create the physics for the impossible. That's what they do. Because the cosmos that they give you, diamond worlds and clusters and all of that shit, you never saw it. It's all belief. You believe them because them your pastors, they your preachers. Just like the Christian never saw heaven, but he believed the pastor though, that it's streets of gold and people hovering around. It's all belief. It's all, y'all, you got to break the spell. The world they creating for you with the heliocentric cosmos is an impossible world. But with consensus, when you get a bunch of people believing in the impossible, then you got to start teaching the impossible in school. Therefore, you got to create a math to describe the impossible. You got to create equations that would describe how a diamond planet would work. You got to create the physics to describe how water would bend. And this is the birth of pseudoscience. Science that describes the impossible. Science that only makes sense when we leave the earth. Science that you can't duplicate on a micro. This is not the science of the ancestors, and this is the science that got us in a warp. This is the science that's robbing your children. This is the science that's making chemtrails okay. This is the science that's making vaccinations okay. This is the science that's making transhumanism okay. This is the science that's making a space force okay. This is the science that's making cloning okay. This is the science that's making GMO food okay. And don't nobody give a fuck because why? He sounds smart. His suit look good. He got to know what he talking about. Look at the way he moving his hands. Look at the way he preached to me and described the impossible to me. Just like a pastor with a $1,000 robe on. Looking good and sounding good, but ain't saying a goddamn thing. Y'all ought to get tired of it, yo. You ought to get tired of it. These people saying that they got physics of the impossible. People, they laughing at you and your children. Your children going to school, wasting 12 years of their life. They get physics of something impossible. They get laughed at. They still be a slave. What use is the science to the world if I can't apply it outside? If I can only apply it in fucking hyperspace, then why don't we move to hyperspace? Give us the science that's applicable to our children to build a better future for themselves. Not the shit that's only from a sci-fi science fiction. Oh my God, and this is the shit. He's getting paid millions of dollars and he's a scientist. When all of this stuff is science fiction, you got one of them telling you he giving you the physics of the goddamn impossible. Then you got another knucklehead telling you he gonna explain an inexplicable universe. So brother Sanchez gonna write a book called How to Make Sense Out of the Senseless. Y'all some, ooh, we people, we so dumbed down a day that I think I was born on the wrong. God damn it, please, y'all. Ooh, it got to be somewhere up out of this shit. Oh, man, we so lost and it's scary. Let me tell you something. The ancestors said reincarnation was real, but I'm going to tell you something. I love this place. It's a beautiful place. Ooh, wee, boy. But I tell you, I don't look forward to coming back. There's got to be somewhere where people thinking like us, man. This is a fucking zombie land.